What makes a good story?
What makes a good story? A good story is going to be... Here's the thing. With a movie, I do this. There's this thing called the skin jump. Did I talk about that last time? Good, I'll talk about it this time. A skin jump is where we, as the audience, jump onto the screen and become the protagonist in the story. And a good story has some sort of a fantasy, and it doesn't have to be a positive fantasy, that we want to explore in our life. So we skin jump and we are Elliot riding his bicycle with E.T. and it flies. You know, and that is like one of those moments where if you were to turn the camera on the audience and watch the audience, they would all be just overjoyed because we're all Elliot in that scene for that moment. And if we're looking at a movie that's we can become Indiana Jones and do the amazing adventure thing. And we basically jump from the audience onto the screen, which means we need a character to jump into. And a good story is about a character that fulfills some sort of dream fulfillment, some sort of fantasy the audience has. And the reason why a film is a hit is because it ends up hitting the dream fulfillment elements of a lot of people. And so if you can figure out the zeitgeist of what the audience, what people are dreaming about right now, that's that thing that's going to pull us onto the screen. But it doesn't have to be a positive thing. Often, I did a film noir class here, and the film noir often jumps us into people that do bad things. Because we all sometimes secretly want to do bad things, but we can't. So, you know, we all want to, you know, there's a lot of movies about career criminals because we all sometimes want to break the law. There are a lot of movies about people that do terrible, awful things that kill people, horrible bosses that kill their bosses or try to do bad things because we have that thing going on inside of us. That's the dream fulfillment of that story. So a good movie is dream fulfillment to the audience. The audience fantasizes about something. We, hopefully as part of that audience, as members of that audience, we fantasize about some of those things too. A weird movie is when somebody has their dream fulfillment and you go, what kind of a sick weirdo is that dream? And you see those sometimes and go, what's going on here? But a good story is going to allow the audience to jump into that character and then take that character on an adventure. It could be a good adventure, it could be a bad adventure, but we're going to go along with that story. And so that means there's going to be a great conflict in there someplace. That means often, you know, the thing that often happens is romance of some sort of another, because even if it's, you know, E.T. is a boy and his dog story, but the dog's an alien. And there is no more unconditional love than from your dog, or, you know, I don't know, your cat loves you, but your dog loves you no matter what. So that's something we can fantasize about. We can get into that story, we can understand that story and jump into Elliot's life with E.T. And, you know, it's the kid that brings home the pet that, you know, mom doesn't want and has to hide it in the closet, and, you know, all those things. You know, I found a stray dog, but the stray dog's an alien. And now the dog catcher wants him. The dog catcher's keys. He's the guy from the government. So it's taking that story and finding the new take on that story, because that could have been just a dog story, but by making it the alien, we're now telling the story we've already heard. We're telling a story that's new, that's different, that gives us a different experience than we've had before. I don't know if that even answers the question.